the asset inventory, how do you even start tracking what you were calling these secondary assets? How do you, the inventory gets so complex, like you were saying, you start drowning in data, but you can't get information out of it. So do you look into those as needed? How do you proactively, say you got old firmware or, whatever, it could be an old VM running some old Windows. How do you deal with those secondary assets today?
Yeah, so the way Armis looks at this is we look at many, many, many different factors, hundreds of different factors about that particular asset. And we compute a risk score from that asset.
Okay.
And a great example, and we'd actually just released this, we call it asset vulnerability management. And of course, typically for non-IT assets, you can't scan them because you don't know they even exist. Right. So we're automatically doing this passive assessment of vulnerabilities across all assets. And then we're overlaying and enriching that data that we see to say, I see these assets over here, they're connected to the internet. They are these types of devices because we know them. And they've actually got known exploits on them. These are critical systems. So we're helping to, again, rationalize and focus in and prioritize where the SOC team should be looking at for primary, secondary, whatever assets are out there. That's the holy grail. That's what we have to get to is that prioritization.
Right. Just enhancing the context so you can actually make good risk calls on it based on context, to access the internet, things like that. That makes a lot of sense. So,